dad's new wife tried to give my late mom's jewelry to her daughter as a wedding gift without asking me, so I made fake copies and secretly swapped them out. A year later, they tried to sell the pieces and learned they were imitations. My mother died when I was 14 after a 3-year battle with breast cancer. She passed on a Tuesday morning in November while I held her hand. Before she died, she made me promise her jewelry would stay with me. She said it was mine, all of it, and I promised I would protect it. Her collection was not massive, but it was valuable. A diamond pendant my father gave her on their wedding day worth about $14,000, sapphire earrings her grandmother brought from Poland, an emerald bracelet she saved for 2 years to buy, and a gold brooch from the 1920s passed down for 4 generations. The total appraised value was around $47,000, but the emotional value meant more. Every piece carried her scent and memories of watching her get ready for holidays and school events. My father kept the jewelry locked in his bedroom safe after she died and told me it would be mine when I turned 21. He remarried when I was 17 to a woman named Diane who had a daughter my age named Chloe. Diane was polite on the surface, but I noticed how she examined my mother's paintings, furniture, and jewelry like she was assessing assets. When I turned 21, I asked for the jewelry. My father became uncomfortable and delayed, saying Diane felt it should remain in the safe for protection. Each time I asked, the answer shifted, but the result stayed the same. I did not receive what my mother promised me. Last year, Chloe got engaged with a large ring and an even larger wedding planned. One night while staying at the house, I went downstairs for water and overheard Diane telling my father the diamond pendant would be perfect for Chloe something old. She said the sapphire earrings would match her dress beautifully and the emerald bracelet would make a generous wedding gift. My father reminded her the pieces were meant for his daughter. Then he went quiet. That silence told me he would not stop it. I understood in that moment that if I did nothing, my mother's jewelry would be handed out piece by piece to someone she never met. The next morning, I drove to a jeweler who specialized in high-quality reproductions. I described each piece in detail and showed old photos I had saved. He recreated them using cubic zirconia and plated alloys, visually identical unless inspected closely with professional tools. The cost was $1,800, far less than their true worth. When my father's birthday approached, I organized a dinner reservation downtown and ensured everyone would be out for hours. I told him I forgot my jacket and needed his key. He handed it over without suspicion. The safe combination had not changed since I was 14. My mother's birthday, 0315. I opened the safe and saw the pendant, earrings, bracelet, and brooch exactly where they had been for years. I held each one briefly and remembered her voice. Then I placed the originals in my bag and replaced them with the copies. I locked the safe and returned to dinner as if nothing happened. Chloe's wedding took place 4 months later. Diane presented the pendant as something old, the earrings to match the gown, and the bracelet as a wedding gift. She kept the brooch for herself. I watched Chloe walk down the aisle wearing replicas of my mother's jewelry and kept my expression neutral. A year passed. Then my father called with a strained voice. Diane had taken several pieces to be appraised because she and Chloe were considering selling them. The appraiser declared the stones were cubic zirconia and the metals were plated. The total value was around $200. I paused and said that was strange. I reminded him the jewelry had remained locked in his safe. Diane later called furious and accused me of swapping them. I asked why I would need to steal what was already mine, and pointed out she would have to explain to the police why she tried to sell jewelry promised to her husband's late wife's daughter. She threatened reports and investigations but never followed through. My father has not raised the subject again. The authentic jewelry now sits secured in a safety deposit box at my bank, insured and documented, every piece accounted for and protected, exactly as my mother requested. Diane believed she could distribute my mother's legacy without consequence. Instead, she distributed copies. I kept my promise, protected what was mine, and allowed them to uncover the truth on their own timeline.